Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir, on New Year, guys.
Good, sir. How was you?
अरे मेरी तबीयत ही खराब
Okay.
थी। मैं वीकेंड देख देख के बीमार हो रहा हूँ आजकल। बड़ा दिक्कत है। सो आज एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग करते हैं, ठीक है? सो एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग के बारे में जो भी पता है बोलो अभी पहले। क्या पता है एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग के बारे में? किसी को कुछ पता है? नाम से कुछ समझ में आ रहा हो या फिर पहले किसी सेशन में मैंने कुछ बोला हो एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग के बारे में, किसी को कुछ ध्यान आ रहा हो? एवरीवन जस्ट गिव इट अ ट्राई. What do you understand by acceptance testing?
सर लास्ट फेज जो होता है ना, मतलब सारे टेस्टिंग करने के बाद वही वाला एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग होता है। उसके बाद डायरेक्टली चला जाता है,
Yes.
मतलब अप्रूवल हो जाता है।
Cool. So basically it is a kind of testing which needs to be done before you move this product to the production. Correct? अगर ऐसा बोलूं तो सही होगा?
Yes, sir.
So कस्टमर के सर्वर में सॉफ्टवेयर को लॉन्च करने से पहले या रिलीज करने से पहले we need to do acceptance testing. Now the question arises, who will do acceptance testing, why we have to do acceptance testing, and what is acceptance testing? ठीक है, क्यों करना चाहिए, कौन करेगा, हर चीज पे ये क्वेश्चंस आते हैं ना, क्या है ये, ठीक है? सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग? एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग इज एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग ओनली, वही एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग, वही रियल टाइम बिजनेस सिनेरियोज जो हम लोगों ने सिस्टम टेस्टिंग के दौरान किया था, whatever end to end testing we have done during our system testing, that same end to end testing. Okay, तो क्या डिफरेंस है इसमें? हाउ इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम सिस्टम टेस्टिंग? कोई बता पाएगा?
सर सॉफ्टवेयर रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से बनाया है कि नहीं वो क्लाइंट चेक करे।
क्लाइंट चेक करेगा। फर्स्ट डिफरेंस इट इज बीइंग कंडक्टेड बाय क्लाइंट साइड। सो एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग में दोनों में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है, ये अच्छे से समझो। जो एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग का प्रोसेस सिस्टम टेस्टिंग में था, मींस नेविगेटिंग थ्रू डिफरेंट फीचर एंड ट्राई टू सिमुलेट अ सिनेरियो एंड चेक वेदर द सॉफ्टवेयर इज केपेबल ऑफ हैंडलिंग दैट सिनेरियो और नॉट, that is same in acceptance testing and in system testing. The difference is system, you call that end to end testing as a system testing when you conduct it in a testing environment which is similar to production environment. समझ रहे हो? उस पर्टिकुलर एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग का मोटिव ये था कि जो पर्टिकुलर सॉफ्टवेयर बिहेवियर हम चेक कर रहे हैं अपने टेस्टिंग एनवायरनमेंट में, वो प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट में भी सिमिलर वे में वर्क करना चाहिए. Getting the eventually what is the goal of system testing? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now the goal of under acceptance testing, now the goal of end-to-end testing is to verify whether the software is actually being developed according to the requirement and or not. It is a type of testing which is being conducted by customer side, client side. They need to make sure whatever you have delivered to them, is it a correct software, whatever they have requested for. So acceptance testing is basically end-to-end testing. The same end-to-end testing means basically navigating through different features and try to verify the software is capable of handling real-time business scenario or not. But in acceptance phase means all the type of testing is done by the testers, delivered to the customer. Customer wants to check whether the product is actually as per the requirement or not. They have to conduct a testing. Why they have chosen this end-to-end testing? बताओ क्यों क्यों चूज किया होगा? कोई और टेस्टिंग भी तो चूज कर सकते हैं. और मैंने एक बार और भी बताया था सैनिटरी टेस्ट, स्मोक टेस्टिंग में, इट इज स्मोक टेस्टिंग इज अ टाइप ऑफ टेस्टिंग व्हिच आल्सो बीइंग कंडक्टेड एज पार्ट ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग. सो जब एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग करते हैं, जब एक्सेप्टेंस फेज चालू होता है, फर्स्ट थिंग दे यूज्ड टू डू इज स्मोक टेस्टिंग, देन दे डू इन डेप्थ with the help of acceptance testing concept end to end पूरा. तो why they have chosen this end to end? Why they haven't chosen any other type of testing? Integration functionality क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? Direct end to end क्यों कर रहे हैं? कोई सोच सकता है?
पूरा एप्लीकेशन सही से काम कर रहा है कि नहीं, रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से वही चेक करने के लिए।
नहीं, तो पूरा एप्लीकेशन चेक करने के लिए तो फंक्शनैलिटी भी करना पड़ेगा, इंटीग्रेशन भी करना पड़ेगा ना, समझ रहे हो? एक एक कंपोनेंट चेक करोगे ना पूरा एप्लीकेशन, तभी चेक कर पाओगे, करेक्ट? तो सिस्टम टेस्टिंग ही क्यों, मतलब एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग ही क्यों, सॉरी, एंड टू एंड ही क्यों, व्हाई? द आंसर इज दैट अगर फंक्शनैलिटी करेंगे, इंटीग्रेशन करेंगे, तो पूरा वर्क रिपीटेड हो जाएगा, समझ रहे हो? वो तो पहले से हो चुका है ना, उनको बस मेक श्योर करना है कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप हुआ है, सही से काम कर रहा है, टेस्टिंग तो हो चुकी है, समझ रहे हो? Their intention is not to thoroughly test the application, rather than that their intention is to make sure the software is developed according to the requirement, समझ रहे हो? So basic idea is that why they have chosen end-to-end testing, because it gives a lot of coverage, समझ रहे हो? ये इस पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ टेस्टिंग में तुम बहुत सारे कॉर्नर्स छूते हो सॉफ्टवेयर का, and that gives you extra liberty, that gives you extra uh, uh, like basically freedom to touch many places of the software, and as most places as you touch in the software, the chances of getting a bug inside it will be higher, correct? समझ रहे हो? That's
Yes,
why
sir.
they have chosen end-to-end testing rather than any other type of testing, ठीक है? तो पहली चीज वो लोग स्मोक टेस्टिंग कर लेते हैं जैसी बिल्ड आ जाती है, ठीक है? ये इंडस्ट्रियल प्रैक्टिस है। एंड सेकेंडरी दे यूज्ड टू डू इन डेप्थ एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग। इन डेप्थ एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग इज बेसिकली एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग ही, जो बेसिकली कस्टमर एंड से होती है। नाउ देयर आर फोर डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस ऑफ डूइंग एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग इन द इंडस्ट्री, ठीक है? एक के बाद एक समझेंगे, बट उससे पहले हम एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग क्यों करते हैं उसके पॉइंट्स देख लेते हैं। यू शुड हैव दिस आंसर अगर कोई पूछता है कि व्हाई वी डू एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग। सो देखो, बेसिकली व्हाट हैपेंड, राइट, व्हेन यू गिव द सॉफ्टवेयर to the customer used to conduct acceptance testing. Meanwhile, under acceptance testing they might raise a lot of bugs, समझ रहे हो? एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग के ड्यूरेशन में ही वो काफी सारे बग्स क्या करते हैं, रेज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? सो इस वजह से कभी कभी क्या होता है, आईटी कंपनी के लोग सोचते हैं कि हम अगर डिले करेंगे सॉफ्टवेयर को रिलीज करने में, इफ वी डू सम सॉर्ट ऑफ डिले इन रिलीजिंग द सॉफ्टवेयर, what will happen, basically they will have to pay penalties for that, correct? So under business pressure, sometimes they thought of releasing a software with a lot of defects under acceptance phase only. So acceptance phase में तो वैसे भी defect raise होते ही है, तो basic idea is that to avoid this situation ना, they should not get a broken build, they should not get a build which has a lot of defect, जिसका बिल्ड क्वालिटी अच्छा नहीं हो, वैसा बिल्ड नहीं मिलना चाहिए। दे यूज्ड टू कंडक्ट एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग। एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग करते हैं तो उनको पता चल जाता है, दे रिजेक्ट्स द बिल्ड एंड दे विल से दैट दे विल नॉट टेस्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर बिल्ड एज इट हैज अ लॉट ऑफ डिफेक्ट्स, ठीक है? दैट्स व्हाई एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग इज नीडेड। अगर नहीं ही करोगे, सपोज कर लो वी आर नॉट एट ऑल डूइंग एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग, डायरेक्टली मूविंग द सॉफ्टवेयर टू द बेसिकली प्रोडक्शन, whatever defect is being missed by your testers, that will be there in the production, and that time the customer will face a lot of loss because of that. And also there is high chance of misunderstanding the requirement by the developers and testers. Sometimes what happens, they misunderstood some things, right? We misunderstood some things. So basically customer wants to give it a check whether it is actually being developed, what exactly they mean the time they were basically giving the requirement. So that's why they used to do acceptance testing. समझ गए तीनों पॉइंट?
Sir, it means it's done by like our customers engineer ना, अगर जिन्हें हमें प्रोडक्ट like सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप करके देना है, उस कंपनी के
IT engineer, correct,
IT engineers, they are doing this testing. Okay.
correct. बट इसमें भी कैच है, देयर आर सर्टेन अप्रोचेस, देयर आर 4 अप्रोचेस, मैं बताता हूँ एक के बाद एक, ठीक है? Cool. So let's move on to the first approach. What is the first approach? Definition is saying it is an end-to-end testing done by IT engineers sitting at the customer place, wherein they check whether the software is capable of handling a real-time business scenario or not. Can you see this diagram? कूल।
Yes.
तो देखो यहाँ पर हो क्या रहा है मैं बताता हूँ। ये है FedEx. FedEx is a courier delivery company. What they have done, they have given the requirement to Wipro, and Wipro is developing a software for FedEx. What Wipro is doing? Wipro's developer is developing, Wipro's tester is testing. This cycle will go on and on and on for 6 to 8 months. They will develop a software. Once the test engineer will say that I have done all the type of testing, the software looks good to me, we are ready to release this particular software. This particular IT engineer will give like sign off to other person, right? The customer and basically your manager and all. Say that I have done all the type of testing, software looks good to me, everything is developed, end-to-end testing is done. We are well below the acceptance criteria. What is acceptance criteria? We'll get to know in future, but yeah. So basically, ये लोगों ने बोला कि हमने सॉफ्टवेयर बना लिया. So once they get the approval, they will say the project manager will say that we are good to release the software. Today is the release date. We are good to release the software to you, and I'm giving you the software. So this particular software will be released not directly to the production environment, rather than the acceptance environment. Now in the acceptance environment, there will be testing happen. For an example, this is the white box is your acceptance environment. Okay, so this particular software, from here it will be traveling to here. Basically it will be installed here in the acceptance environment. IT engineer of the customer side sitting at the customer place, this is our customer, FedEx is our customer. They will do what? They will do the end-to-end testing here. They will derive their own scenarios and they will do the end-to-end testing here under acceptance server, and they will do on behalf of customer, and they will test it, and they will definitely raise some sort of bugs. Under acceptance testing also you will find many bugs. They will definitely raise many bugs, and that particular bugs needs to be fixed by our developer. That particular bug verification needs to be done by us first, and then deployed to the acceptance server again, and then they will also retest it. Then only the bug will be closed. Got it? So this is the whole process of acceptance testing. Once they give the approval, then the software will move on to the production. Got it?
Yes.
सर और एक बार समझ नहीं आया.
Yeah, no issues. कहाँ समझ नहीं आया पहले वो बताओ.
सर पहले तो FedEx ने विप्रो को रिक्वायरमेंट दिया.
करेक्ट.
रिक्वायरमेंट बाद उसका बॉक्स निकला तो बॉक्स कहाँ पर जाएगा?
नहीं, FedEx ने दिया रिक्वायरमेंट विप्रो को, विप्रो ने डेवलप किया, टेस्ट किया, डेवलप किया, टेस्ट किया, शॉर्ट पोर्शन डेवलप होता गया, ऐसे ही करते करते पूरा सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप हो गया. सॉफ्टवेयर को फिर रिलीज किया कहाँ पर? एक्सेप्टेंस सर्वर पे. किसके? FedEx के. बेसिकली ये एक्सेप्टेंस सर्वर ना वेरी करता है कि किसका होगा अप्रोच के ऊपर भी. ठीक है, बट यहाँ पर अभी अज्यूम करते हैं ये FedEx के पास है. ठीक है, तो FedEx का एक्सेप्टेंस सर्वर था, वहां पर इंस्टॉल किया. FedEx के आईटी इंजीनियर ने एंड टू एंड सिनेरियो डिराइव किया, एंड टू एंड सिनेरियो एग्जीक्यूट किए, यहाँ बग्स रेस किए. किसमें बग रेस करेंगे वो लोग? जीरा में. बेसिकली अब वो बग कौन फिक्स करेगा? अपने डेवलपर. अपने डेवलपर पहले फिक्स करेंगे, फिर अपने टेस्ट इंजीनियर पहले रीटेस्ट करेंगे. जब वो रीटेस्ट कर लेंगे तो वो फिक्स जाएगा किधर? इधर. क्योंकि एक बार में हो सकता है फिक्स ना हो. अगर नहीं होगा एक बार में फिक्स, तो ये इंजीनियर्स को डिप्लॉय करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. पहले इंटरनली हम लोग मेक श्योर करेंगे कि हाँ ये फिक्स हो गया है. उसके बाद फिर हम लोग डिप्लॉय करेंगे. उसके बाद फिर ये रीटेस्ट होगा यहाँ पर, और फिर वो जब पूरे बग्स वो लोग देख लेंगे हाँ फिक्स हो गए हैं, उनको लगेगा सॉफ्टवेयर अच्छे से काम कर रहा है, अप्रूवल दे देंगे, और फिर ये बेसिकली ये वर्जन ऑफ द सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोडक्शन में मूव हो जाएगा. समझ गए?
यस सर.
कूल. चलो ठीक है, सबको ये वाला अप्रोच समझ में आया, डेफिनेशन समझ में आया. इट इज एन एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग डन बाय आईटी इंजीनियर्स of the customer side sitting at the customer's place, wherein they check whether the software is capable of handling real time business scenario or not. अब एक बात बताओ, तुमने जो रियल टाइम बिजनेस सिनेरियो डिराइव किया है और इन लोगों ने जो डिराइव किया है, इसमें डिफरेंस होगा? ऑब्वियसली होगा. समझ रहे हो? देखो ये जो आईटी इंजीनियर है ना, ये इस कंपनी के आईटी इंजीनियर है, तो इनको जो बिजनेस का नॉलेज होगा, हो सकता है हमको उतना नॉलेज ना हो. समझ रहे हो? Whatever kind of knowledge they have as part of that particular company, whatever business knowledge they have, we might not have that particular kind of knowledge. So whatever scenarios we derived as part of system testing, we derive as part of end-to-end testing, it will be different, and as part of their own acceptance testing, whatever they have driven, that would be different. समझ गए?
Yes, sir.
तो बेसिकली थोड़ा डिफरेंस तो होगा, ठीक है. एंड बेसिक आइडिया इज दैट व्हेनेवर दिस काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंस विल बी देयर माइट बी चांसेस जो दूसरे सिनेरियो से वो लोगों ने एग्जीक्यूट किए हैं उसमें उनको बग्स मिले, ठीक है. व्हाट इज द सेकंड अप्रोच? नाउ द सेकंड अप्रोच इज दैट basically that time the customers IT company is not that capable of deriving scenarios and testing the application. They don't want this particular engineer to be involved in acceptance testing. समझ रहे हो? So what they do, they just try to get the application tested by few selected end users. FedEx के एंड यूजर कौन होंगे बताओ? जो FedEx के आउटलेट में बैठे होंगे. whoever employees are there in the FedEx outlet, those will be the end users for the FedEx system, for the FedEx software, correct? वही लोग सॉफ्टवेयर पे अपडेट करेंगे कि यहाँ से पार्सल गया है, वहां से पार्सल रिसीव हुआ है, करेक्ट? yes, no, anything guys?
Yes.
So basic idea is that here the process will be same. Requirement will go here. We will develop and test for so many cycles. We'll give the software to FedEx. Now FedEx will move it to the acceptance server, but this time this particular engineers will not get involved. They will select some end user. They will ask those end user to use the software for a particular period of time. बोला थोड़ा टाइम के लिए तुम ये सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करो अपने बिजनेस के लिए, और तुमको अगर कोई डिफेक्ट दिखता है डे टू डे लाइफ में तो यू हैव टू रिपोर्ट इट. These engineers have, this particular end user has to report it. This engineer will help them reporting those bugs. These engineer will not play a greater role here in testing the application, but end user will play. इसी को play the greater role. इसी को हम लोग basically beta testing बोलते हैं, अगर तुमने कभी सुना होगा. To open the software for a beta version of the software for a particular period of time and saying that it is under testing, and open it for everyone, not everyone, selected users, and then they will report some bugs which help us to identify the defects and improve the quality of the software. सुना होगा, correct?
Yes, sir.
तो इसको कहानी के उससे सुनते हैं. तो हमारे यहाँ पर क्लास में कोई वॉलंटियर करेगा, कोई लड़का वॉलंटियर करेगा जो जल्दी ऑफेंड नहीं होता हो, प्लीज. एग्जाम्पल के लिए नहीं है कोई?
Yes, sir.
आशीष, you'll volunteer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
assume 14th Feb is near, right? Yeah, give me a second, my laptop will turn off otherwise. Okay, cool. So let's assume Ashish is basically trying to gift his girlfriends, two of his girlfriends on Valentine. He's in Pune. Ashish, you are from Pune?
No, sir, from Odisha.
Odisha. Let's assume Ashish is from Odisha, and one of his girlfriend is at Mumbai, another is in Bangalore. So what Ashish did? Ashish went to a gift shop. He bought 2 photo frames, and he has given like 2 pictures for like both is with him with her girlfriends, right? So 2 individual pictures basically. Then first the particular person has did what? First photo frame has first girlfriend's picture and him, and second photo frame has second girlfriend's picture and him, and then he wrapped it up, and he has like written the names and everything, right? And then he went to post office, like FedEx office. Now he wrote the address there. They have given the envelope, and he has like wrapped it up properly, and wrote the addresses, and then given it to the FedEx agent. Now this particular FedEx agent is using the software for acceptance testing. So what he's doing, he's also maintaining the register, the old way of maintaining the records, and also entering everything on the computer system, the system which is being provided by uh, Wipro, and it is under acceptance testing. It is the beta version. Now what Ashish did, Ashish gave the parcel, Ashish went back. After 2 or 3 hours, Ashish eventually get to know that he has miswritten the addresses. He has exchanged the addresses on the parcel. So the parcel which needs to go to Mumbai is going to Bangalore, and the parcel which needs to go to Bangalore is going to Mumbai. And now you can assume the condition of Ashish, right? So basic idea is that he needs to eventually go and cancel the parcel as soon as possible. So he dragged the bike and he went to FedEx office again. Now he said, agent, please please try to like cancel the parcel and get the parcel back to me, or else I'll be dead. Yeah. So basic idea is that he went to the office and he asked him, and the FedEx engineer for FedEx agent, he tried to cancel the parcel. Somewhat the parcel cancel button is not working. Now, as it is under testing, right, and it's a beta version of the software, it might not work properly. So basic idea is that this is a defect which is under acceptance, right? So in that scenario, they will do what? They will not rely on the software holistically. They will also follow their traditional way. Or for an example, they are managing to cancel the parcel, but the exact amount which needs to be charged as part of fine or something, like canceling fee or something like that, is not being charged. So the thing is that these kind of real-time business scenarios which they will face while doing the business might not come when basically you are deriving the scenarios sitting in your offices. That's why beta testing is widely popular, because sitting in the office in the AC room thinking of the scenarios, you might not get those scenarios which will definitely going to occur in the business, in the real time, in day to day life, right? So जो बंदा वहां पर ऑफिस में बैठा हुआ है ना, जो डेली बिजनेस देख रहा है, जो कस्टमर्स को हैंडल कर रहा है, ये जो फेडेक्स का एजेंट है, he will understand the scenario, he will see the scenario in his day to day life, and the chances of getting a bug in the office will be higher than the scenario deriving which we are doing in the offices. Getting my point? So that's why
Yes,
it is.
sir.
So basically, you don't worry, Ashish, your parcel is back. But yeah, the thing is that that is the reason beta testing, or the second approach of acceptance testing, is way more used than the other two options, way more practical than the other two options, but sometimes it is not that practical, that not that applicable, because most of the time this end users might not be that trained to use the software, or might not be there might be chances these particular persons are not capable enough to do the testing by themselves. Getting my point? But definitely they have the knowledge of the scenarios more than the people sitting in the office, either the IT engineer or we, basically test engineer, either them or we don't have that amount of knowledge of the scenarios compared to them, the agents of that particular company, the real the person who is on the ground level, right? So this is a more practical way of doing the acceptance testing. Use the software for a particular period of time and try to catch the bugs. It's way more easy, correct? And they way more efficient, isn't it? Correct.
Yes.
So the
Yes,
thing
sir.
is that this is also called as end user acceptance testing or user acceptance testing, this approach. Okay, wherein what is the approach? It is an end-to-end testing done by selected end user, where they use the software for real-time business for a particular period of time. Obviously, for the beta phase, they will use it and they will report the bugs and check whether the software is capable of handling those real-time business scenario. First approach, who is doing the testing? Who is doing the acceptance testing? This IT engineer was doing the acceptance testing. Second approach, who is doing the acceptance testing? End users. Sorry, end users are doing acceptance testing. Correct? Yes, no, anything?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This, but there is a problem, right? Sometimes what happens, these end users might not be able to test it properly. They might not be that trained. Correct? This gave the birth of the third approach. This time what happens, they want these end users to test, but they are not trained enough. They don't want to utilize their own IT engineers. So what they will do, they will hire you. They will hire you and they will ask you to test the application. But अब देखो, मैं विप्रो में बैठा हूँ. For an example, I am sitting at Wipro. I have done system testing. I have done the end-to-end testing under system testing, right? So what exactly we have done? We have tested the software. We have tested the system of the software by doing the system testing. Now they are calling me. I went there in FedEx, and then they asked me to derive scenarios and test the application, do the acceptance testing. So what I'll do, simply I'll derive same scenario, I will test the application, isn't it? समझ रहे हो? मेरे को अगर तुम बोलोगे मैं पहले एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग कर चुका हूं, अगर मेरे को दोबारा कोई बोलेगा डू द एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग, आई विल डिराइव द सेम सिनेरियो, आई विल टेस्ट द एप्लीकेशन. करेक्ट? यही होगा.
Yes, sir.
कोई भी करेगा भाई, कोई क्यों मेहनत करेगा? Why anyone else will put on the effort while deriving the scenario again, a different scenario, set up different scenario again? उनको क्या पता तुमने क्या scenario derive किया था? Getting my point? The thing is that they know that they are smart people. They are running a company, $1 million company, right? So what they will do? They will ask one IT engineer to collect the user scenarios, use cases from here, user scenarios from here. They will call you from here to their place. They will hand over those user scenarios to them and ask you to test the application while having that user scenarios. So you will test the application, but not with your own scenarios. So it is an end-to-end testing by our test engineer sitting at where? Sitting at customer's place, wherein they refer user scenarios and try to test the application whether the application is capable of handling real-time business scenario or not. Getting my point? ये यहाँ पे दोनों काम हो गया. इन लोगों का knowledge भी काम आ गया. They are utilizing their knowledge and they are utilizing skilled people to execute scenario and to identify defects. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So which one is better among all three? Which particular approach is better? What do you think?
Second one, sir. Beta testing.
Beta testing is better. What about others? Have you ever become the beta tester of any application?
Yes, sir.
कौन सा application का?
Sir, there
PUBG
is a
बोल रहा.
called Nova Launcher from Play Store.
होगा launcher. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? मैं एक बार पूछा तो उसने बोला था PUBG. वो मैंने पूछा कितने बग रिपोर्ट किए, तो बोला पूरा एप्लीकेशन में ही बग था सर. ठीक है. Any other? If not, try to do it once. Like you have to go to Play Store, I guess. कोई नया application में जाना and you have to open the like page, the application page, and then try to select the options. There will get the beta testing tester option. Try to opt in and try to test the application. अभी तो काफी knowledge है तुम लोगों को, टेस्ट कर सकते हो. करेक्ट? हम लोगों ने एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग पढ़ी है क्या? नहीं पढ़ी है ना अभी
No,
तक?
sir.
नहीं, sir.
No, sir.
अभी पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है. So the basic idea is that forget about that beta testing. But ये थर्ड अप्रोच था. ये भी बहुत प्रैक्टिकल है, ये बहुत एप्लीकेबल है. करेक्ट? Try to hire the person. This is also widely used in the industry. But इसमें भी एक प्रॉब्लम है. अब देखो विप्रो है इंडिया की कंपनी, करेक्ट? विप्रो इज सिचुएटेड इन इंडिया, फेडेक्स इज सिचुएटेड इन अमेरिका, करेक्ट? यूएसए की कंपनी है नहीं। नाउ द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट इफ they want to have these engineers at their place, getting my point, these engineer at their place, so that particular FedEx have to pay them. For an example, these 5 engineers they have hired to do acceptance testing, so FedEx needs to pay them in dollars according to American standard, क्योंकि ये लोगों को ये उठा के यहाँ से यहाँ लेके आ रहा है, करेक्ट? तो उसको अमेरिकन स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से दे नीड टू गिव द सैलरीज, करेक्ट? फेडेक्स देगा ना पैसा, तो अगर वो
Yes,
कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअली
sir.
हायर कर रहे हैं तो प्रॉब्लम इज दैट कि बहुत पैसे देने पड़ते हैं। तो इसका एक अल्टरनेटिव निकाला फोर्थ अप्रोच में, ठीक है? फोर्थ अप्रोच, अच्छा ये फोर्थ अप्रोच का स्लाइड है क्या? हाँ, फोर्थ अप्रोच क्या था? फोर्थ अप्रोच में व्हाट दे विल डू, they will not call these engineers here. Now our test engineer will not test the application sitting at the customer's place. Our test engineer will test the application sitting at our place. What they will do, they will ask one test IT engineer from there. They will that particular person will as usual collect the user scenario जो वो पहले भी कर रहा था third approach में, and this person will travel to IT company Wipro site in this example, and then hand over the user scenario, and basically under his guidance we will do acceptance testing having the user scenarios. Getting my point? यहाँ पर पैसा बच जाएगा, कॉस्ट कटिंग हो जाएगी। Getting my point? So this is the fourth
Yes,
approach.
sir.
These are the like these 4 approaches are practically used in industry. This is not like conceptual thing, which is not that basically implementive in the industry. Getting my point? These are practical approaches which is widely used in industry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Cool. So ये है 4 approach.
सर
Hopefully.
ऐसा पॉसिबल हो सकता है लाइक इज इट रिक्वायर्ड कि फेडेक्स का कोई इंजीनियर इंडिया में विप्रो में आए और इसके अलावा ये भी कर सकते हैं क्या कि वो जो यूजर सिनेरियो है वो बाय मेल और बाय समथिंग दे कैन शेयर विद विप्रो और उनका टेस्टिंग हो जाए, ऐसा भी पॉसिबल है या प्रैक्टिकली ये
डेफिनेटली
होता है कि
डेफिनेटली ये पॉसिबल है, होता ही है ऐसा, कोई आता
हाँ
नहीं है ना, कोई
ये
जाता है ना कोई आता है, बट
ये
in rare cases ना what the customer is sometimes sensitive about their work, that time they used to call people आ जाओ, and they are very rich enough, right? They don't care about giving 1,000 more bucks to you, something like that, so they are not that conscious, but
yeah
sometimes it happens, they are very much practical. Some companies are very much practical, they know that कि हो रहा है काम, हो जाएगा, पहले भी तो ऐसे ही हुआ करते। अंडर कोविड सिचुएशन इट्स वाइडली अंडरस्टूडेबल कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है, anyways we are not able to interact with each other in offices, so they know कि कैसे काम करना है। एक वो they appoint those kind of people who are capable of making you work over a call only, like you do work all day, they will take the status at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, both time, like what you are doing today. Okay, I'm doing today this is amount of work you are properly utilizing today, utilizing this amount of work today. At the end of the day they will ask you, have you done that particular work? If not, what is the problem? If you face any problem, just contact me, I'll help you out in that. They will make you work anyways, कहीं पे भी, यहाँ पे भी, यहाँ पे भी, या फिर तुम्हारे घर से भी, ठीक है? तो बेसिकली ये है, कई कंपनीज यूज करती है, कई कंपनीज समझती है कि यार कौन इतना चेक चिक चिक करेगा, ऑनलाइन करो बस, गूगल मीट में, सॉरी गूगल मीट बोल रहा हूँ, टीम्स में कनेक्ट कर लेना और हो गया, जूम में, टीम्स में। Cool. Any other questions around this, or we'll move on to exploratory testing, guys? Anyone?
No, sir.
और एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग का वही नहीं दिख रहा है PDF, अच्छा मेरे इस फोल्डर में है आई गेस। देखो एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग बहुत इजी है एक्चुअली, अगर तुम समझना चाहोगे तो. Sometime what happens if you are in a company and you just join, there might be chances you don't get ample amount of time to get through the requirement as the release date is very near. So someone will give you the walkthrough of application and you have to explore a bit in order to understand the application. So that time you might just do testing based upon that knowledge, will not go through any kind of documentation. So testing the application based on your understanding, that is exploratory testing. So क्या करते हैं, कभी कभी तुम्हारे पास रिक्वायरमेंट होता ही नहीं है. अगर तुम छोटी मोटी आईटी कंपनी को देखोगे जो ऐसी चलती है. So if for an example I am the one who is running an IT company and my so and so friend is running a business and he wants an application, so he verbally conveyed me that he wants this, he wants this, he wants this. Okay, we haven't documented anything, and a new test engineer joined in my team and he asked for requirement. I don't have any requirement, right? So I'll ask him to go through the application, understand, and do the testing. So that time he will do exploratory testing. What is exploratory testing? Explore the application, understand it, and based on the understanding, test the application without referring to any kind of formal document. कोई भी फॉर्मल डॉक्यूमेंट को बिना हाथ लगाए, बिना रिफर किए अगर तुम टेस्टिंग करते हो, जस्ट बाय द अंडरस्टैंडिंग of the application, that is called as exploratory testing. Obviously it is not the best practice, इसमें काफी सारी problems है. It's not best practice. अभी if I ask you to test the WhatsApp, will you be able to test WhatsApp?
Yes,
And
sir.
तुम कर दोगे ना टेस्ट, तुमको तो पता है WhatsApp कैसे काम करता है, बट तुमको पता कैसे चला? Have someone given you the requirement of WhatsApp? No.
No.
Sir.
So how will you be able to test the WhatsApp? The thing is that you have got the
Because-
understanding of the application, correct? You have explored, initially you have explored the application, generate the understanding. Now you know that when I tap the emoji thing, it should appear on keyboard, and if I tap this send button, it should go to the other person and should receive to the other person, should be received by the other person, right? So the basic idea is that you have explored the application and generated the understanding of the application. And once you have generated the understanding, now any version of the WhatsApp will come, you will be able to test it, correct? The thing is that the same thing we used to do as part of exploratory testing, but it has a lot of defects. Lot of, not defects, basically this concept has a lot of loopholes. Okay, so first of all, let us understand the drawback first. Okay, so chances are there we might misunderstood feature as a bug. For an example, there is a feature and you feel that this should not be a feature. Earlier you used to test many banking applications. Currently you have a banking application. There is a very long process of doing KYC, but that's because of a security purpose that makes your application more secure. But you did the exploratory testing and you understand that as part of usability point of view, you said that is a bug. It takes a lot of steps, that's not user friendly, that's a bug. But what you are exactly doing, you're misunderstanding a feature as a bug, correctly? Correct? Is it right, guys?
Yes, sir.
That's a feature. Why? Because it provides you extra layer of security to the customer, but is because just because don't have a requirement to clarify, you are misunderstanding that particular feature as a bug. It's okay to misunderstood as a feature as a bug. You might also misunderstood the bug as a feature. The same feature, same functionality, it is very long, but you might thought that it is a feature. Basically it meant to be like that. You don't raise a bug, but that's a bug. You have to raise a bug. Why? Because customers getting fed up. A lot of customers not getting not doing the KYC just because the process is very long. Getting my point? The thing is that you might misunderstood thing, feature as a bug and bug as a feature, anyways, vice versa, right? Because you don't have a requirement to refer and clarify what is happening, what should be done. Getting my point? Then the third point is that if any feature is missing, you will not be able to know that. For an example, if I say that from initial days only there is a newsfeed feature in WhatsApp, but it is not there, and if you will test it today, will you be able to identify that newsfeed is not there as you don't have the requirement? Obviously no.
No.
Why? Because you have seen the application without that feature, and based on that exploring thing, you have generated the understanding, right? So if currently any feature is missing out in WhatsApp, you'll never get to know that because you don't have requirement to cross verify, isn't it? So anything which is missing, you will not never come to know that without requirement. There is no way you can identify that thing. One way you can identify that thing, if it is an application standard. अगर वो application standard ही है, for an example, there is one feature missing which is back button, and which is on iOS application, and it is a standard of operating system. Every screen should have a back button. That time you'll get to know that even if it is missing. Okay, based on your knowledge. Now, how to overcome this drawback? Before that, when to do why and when to do exploratory testing? Whenever there is no requirement, क्लाइंट के साइड से रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं आया, भाईचारा में चल रहा है, सब ओवर द कॉल चल रहा है, किसी ने डॉक्यूमेंट ही नहीं किया है रिक्वायरमेंट, देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट, only way you can do is getting the KT and do the exploratory testing. Whenever there is a requirement but not understood it, there is a lot of jargons, a lot of technical terms, or a lot of here and there thing in the requirement. It's a long paragraph kind of thing wherein things can't be understood. ठीक है? So बेसिक आइडिया इज दैट अभी देखो जैसे यूएस बेस्ड प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं, तो यूएस में कुछ हेल्प प्लान्स होते हैं, एचएमओ, डीएचएमओ, कोबरा, फुल्ली इंश्योर्ड, सेल्फ फंडेड, ऐसे करके. अब जिसको यही नहीं पता फुल इंश्योर्ड सेल्फ फंडेड है और एप्लीकेशन रिक्वायरमेंट में लिखा है दिस फीचर मस्ट बी विजिबल फॉर सेल्फ फंडेड यूजर, अब तुमको कैसे पता चलेगा जो सेल्फ फंडेड यूजर है वो फुल इंश्योर्ड नहीं हो सकता है? तो ये तुमको ये सारे वर्ड्स टर्म्स ही नहीं पता है, तो तुम कैसे आइडेंटिफाई कर पाओगे कि ये रिक्वायरमेंट में क्या लिखा हुआ है? दैट टाइम आल्सो यू हैव टू डू द एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग. देयर इज नो वे यू कैन डू अदर वे लाइक generating the understanding by the requirement. So that time also you might have to do the exploratory testing until you get a person who can guide you. Okay, then whenever there is a requirement, it's understandable too, you can understand there is a requirement, but basically you don't have time to go through it. Currently you are on the release phase, basically release is very near and you need to do the testing. That time basically you have to do the exploratory testing. Okay, hello, am I audible guys?
Yes sir.
Cool. बिल्ली की
Yes,
आवाज आ
sir.
रही है क्या? कुकर की भी आ रही है क्या?
No, sir.
चलो ठीक है भाई.
So but other all testing will perform ना, जो कि पहले हमेशा हम perform करते हैं, like integration and functional and all
वो भी
testing.
तुम अंडरस्टैंडिंग के हिसाब से ही करोगे.
Okay.
समझ रहे हो? देखो तुमको समझ में आएगा हाँ ये यहाँ से यहाँ डेटा फ्लो है, तो तुम अंडरस्टैंडिंग उसको भी तुम एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग के अंदर ही लाओगे. बेसिकली एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग में कुछ अलग टाइप की टेस्टिंग है ही नहीं अगर तुम देखोगे तो. करेक्ट, इट जस्ट एन अल्टरनेटिव ऑफ नॉट हैविंग अ रिक्वायरमेंट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? तो करोगे तो तुम एफटी, आईटी, एसटी ही इधर, बट वो तब करोगे जब तुम उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग जनरेट कर लोगे. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? तुम डालोगे 10 डेटा, तुमको पता चलेगा कि ये एक्सेप्ट हो रहा है, ये एक्सेप्ट नहीं हो रहा है. Then next version of the software, when next version of software will come, you do the regression testing as part of exploratory testing only. तुम वही फीचर को दोबारा टेस्ट करोगे, रीटेस्ट करोगे, और वही सेट ऑफ डेटा जो एक्सेप्ट हो रहा था वो एक्सेप्ट होना चाहिए ये चेक करोगे, और वो सारे डेटा रिजेक्ट हो रहे थे जो वो रिजेक्ट हो रहे हैं कि नहीं हो रहे हैं वो चेक करोगे. तुम्हारी फंक्शनैलिटी टेस्टिंग होगी. समझ रहे हो? ठीक, कंफ्यूज कर दिया मैंने और
थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग है बट
वो
थोड़ा सा मजा आया.
वो इतना फेयरली प्रैक्टिसिंग चीज नहीं है ये एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग से. तो बेसिकली मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू विल हैव रिक्वायरमेंट, so don't worry about it, but what is exploratory testing? Exploratory testing is basically understanding explore the application, understanding the application, and based on that understanding do the test. अब एक स्पेसिफिक टाइप ऑफ टेस्टिंग नहीं है, जैसे फंक्शनलिटी टेस्टिंग में तुम फीचर टेस्ट करते हो, सिस्टम टेस्टिंग में तुम एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग करते हो। इसमें मैंने कुछ ऐसा नहीं बताया कि हाँ ये पर्टिकुलर पार्ट पे कंसंट्रेट करके तुमको टेस्ट करना है। तो एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट। Basically you will do these type of testing only, FT, IT, ST only, but when you do it, when you don't have a requirement and explore the application and generate the understanding kind of stuff, then you can call it as exploratory testing. ठीक है, समझ गए?
ओके।
Cool. तो हाउ टू ओवरकम, अब देखो तुमको ड्रॉबैक समझ में आ गया कि हाँ भाई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है बहुत, कोई फीचर मिसिंग होता है तो बेसिकली प्रॉब्लम होती है। तो how to overcome this drawback? So to overcome this drawback by interacting with development team, business analyst and customer closely. Development team से interact करो, business analyst से interact करो, customer से access है तो customer से interact करो, ठीक है? ठीक है? Got it? So the basic idea is that they might have a better understanding of the feature because they are closely working with customers, na? So they will have a better understanding. Go to them, talk to them. If you have any confusion, they will clarify based on the domain knowledge. मैं 5 साल से सिर्फ बैंकिंग डोमेन पे ही काम कर रहा हूँ, तो जो बेसिक चीज है ना बैंकिंग डोमेन की वो मेरे को पता होगी। तो अगर वो मिसिंग है मेरी एप्लीकेशन पे और या फिर वो बेसिकली गड़बड़ है मेरे एप्लीकेशन पे, तो आई विल डेफिनेटली रेज माय कंसर्न्स कि हाँ देखो यहाँ पर ये मिसिंग है, ठीक है। Then coming up thing is based on the knowledge which is similar, based on the knowledge of the similar software or product which is already there on the market. अगर मैं स्विगी टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ तो मैं जोमेटो का रेफरेंस ले सकता हूँ, अगर मैं ओला टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ तो मैं उबर का रेफरेंस ले सकता हूँ अगर वो ऑलरेडी मार्केट में है। तो by comparing my software with a similar kind of software which is already there in the market, I can definitely try to overcome few drawbacks. Got it? For an example, if you are testing Uber टेस्ट करते करते तुमको ओटीपी का सिनेरियो नहीं दिख रहा है, ओटीपी जनरेट होते नहीं दिख रहा है, यू आर कंफ्यूज्ड कि ये ऐसे ही होना चाहिए या फिर ये लोकेशन बेस पे अगर ड्राइवर लोकेशन और पैसेंजर लोकेशन एक साथ दिख रही है तो वो ऑब्वियसली क्या हो जाना चाहिए, ऑप्ट इन हो जाना चाहिए, ऑटोमेटिकली ऑप्ट इन हो जाना चाहिए क्योंकि वो बिना ओटीपी डाले ही राइड स्टार्ट हो जा रही है। So you are confused. So you will compare this with Ola and you will get to rectify क्या होना चाहिए. Then if you are having more confusion, go to your business analyst and clarify or development team. Okay? ये बग है कि नहीं, ठीक है?
सर एक्सप्लोर टेस्टिंग में जब बग निकला तो फिर हम डेवलपर को बोलेंगे?
हाँ डेवलपर ही करके देगा, उसी का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। यहाँ पे डायग्राम था, डेवलपर ही टेस्ट करेगा। The most recommended thing is that while doing exploratory testing, if you find any bug ना, just try to connect with your developer once ताकि वो डिफेक्ट रिजेक्ट ना हो जाए, उससे कनेक्ट करो, उससे बात करो कि ये सही डिफेक्ट है कि नहीं, उसको लग रहा है कि सही है कि नहीं, एंड देन यू रेज अ बग, ठीक है?
ओके
इतना इजीली कनेक्ट नहीं करते हैं वो साले, बट हाँ डेवलपर को पीछे पड़ के कनेक्ट करना पड़ता है कभी, ठीक है? कूल, कई जगह अच्छे भी होते हैं। सो हाउ टू मैनेज एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग इन रियल टाइम? देखो एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग रियल टाइम में कैसे मैनेज करना चाहिए, इसको दो अप्रोच, जो नहीं करना, एक जो नहीं करना चाहिए, एक जो करना चाहिए, तो बताता हूँ। थ्रू आउट एक्सप्लोरेटरी टेस्टिंग में हम बंदे पे क्या होते हैं, वो होते हैं डिपेंडेंट होते हैं। तो यहाँ पर देखो, अगर तुम देखो तो अप्रोच 1 में क्या हुआ, टेस्ट इंजीनियर 1 ने एक्सप्लोर किया एप्लीकेशन को 4 मंथ के लिए, 4 month he has invested and generated the understanding, assuming that कि यहाँ पर कोई भी requirement नहीं है, he has invested and gathered the understanding, generated the understanding, and this particular engineer now have the understanding of the software. He had done the testing of 1 month beautifully, he has tested, raised a lot of bug, and he has the knowledge now. Now what happened, this particular engineer left the job, another engineer went in the organization. Now again we need to give this test engineer some time in order to understand the application and do the testing, correct? तो ये जो 4 महीने का टाइम है ये फिर से चला जाएगा एक्सप्लोरिंग, समझ रहे हो? Yes, no, anything?
Yes, sir.
So the amount of time we are wasting here should not be, it should not be like that. Why? Because we are depending on what? We are depending on test engineer rather than the process or document. अब ये जाता है तो इसको तो रोक नहीं सकते हाथ पैर पकड़. He has got the better opportunity. He went. Another engineer come. He has no idea what is software. Now instead of doing this, we used to do this. First test engineer do the exploring thing. Once he explored the application, we ask him to document test cases. We ask him to derive scenarios and document it. Once he documented and then do the testing, 1 month he did the testing. Now he said that I'm leaving the job. We used to say that, yeah, go. Whenever you want, you can leave, right? And then second engineer come. When second engineer came to organization, we asked him to do the testing by handing over the test cases. Now the testing will go on, definitely. The 4-month exploring period is being replaced by testing. In this phase also, there might be chances this second engineer will raise some sort of bug. And while doing the testing, he will generate the understanding automatically by the test cases. Once he get the understanding of the software, now he might also find new scenarios, and he will ask him to update the test cases and create new test cases by exploring new features. Now, if second engineer also wants to quit the job, we ask him to go. And now we are not depending on the person, we are depending upon the document. Correct? Document is with me. The knowledge is not in the head of the person, it is in the paper, which we can hand over to other person and we can continue our testing. Correct? So this approach needs to be done. Definitely, if you are doing the exploratory testing, there should be test cases. We can't ask him to generate a requirement, a test engineer, but we can ask him to generate test cases. Basically, that he'll do, and we'll be depending upon the test cases. So amount of 4 months again, which first approach has to give the test engineer to do exploratory and then generate the understanding and do the testing. We have replaced that waste time, that time with the testing, and while doing testing only the second engineer will generate the understanding in the testing. समझ रहे हो? So basically this approach needs to be followed. Got it? समझ गए सब? Cool. चलो. So that's it for today. Any questions related to this? Anyone? मेरा पीडीएफ भेजना रह गया क्या कोई से टॉपिक का? ये दोनों का भेज दूंगा मैं. लास्ट टॉपिक क्या पढ़ाया था उसका मैंने नहीं भेजा है क्या? हेलो. विजिबिलिटी, परफॉर्मेंस, स्मोक, कोई सा टॉपिक रह गया क्या पीडीएफ भेजना? कंपैटिबिलिटी टेस्टिंग नहीं भेजा ना मैंने? Compatibility, exploratory, and this acceptance. I'll send it today. Okay guys, bye bye. Have a great day.
Sir, UAT, usability.
That's usability I've given. That's in the group. Acceptance I'll give. Okay. Okay. Bye guys.